Okay, so I want to talk about disassociation. Disassociation is where you treat someone like bullshit. Well, you treat them like shit. You tell your kids that they're trash. You don't pay attention to them. You neglect them. You hate them. But then, if you're doing something like you're playing chess, I don't know, you're playing a video game you like, you show them affection while you're doing that, and then that makes bonding when they're seeing you do that. If you hit them and then you say you love them, then that creates bondage of abuse. So you're teaching them that this is right and the other thing is wrong. Basically, you're training them like a dog. If your parents are doing this to you and you're thinking that it's just normal, it's not. It's a form of abuse. Some parents actually won't do it. Yeah, imagine that. And being smart enough to know that not all parents do it is the first step in just knowing. Look at this. I got chicken. I got one of those Red Lobster things, and I got a brownie. Yep. So I want to talk about how my family has used it on me my entire life. And a lot of people who are stupid, who aren't indigos, can't notice shit like that. They can't. And I would have to say it's better to not be able to notice it than to notice it. Because it's way worse noticing it. Because then you point it out, and that makes them angry. And then it gets worse. It's just, yeah. So, my grandmother disassociates me all the time. All the time. This can be done with neglect, too. You could be telling someone something, and they could just not listen to you and neglect you. But then they could buy you things, and then you would connect money to love. That's one of the worst forms in it. Me. Sadly, my grandma has done that to me since I was 4 to now. She has associated money with love. She does that to all her grandkids. And that's why all her grandkids use her. It's true. If you just love your kids, just love them. Don't, try to control them as if they're a pet. Love them for who they are. Oh, imagine that. And let them be who they are. See, my dad would either break my things or neglect me. But then he would either watch a movie he liked, or played video games he liked, or did something he liked, and he would let me do it with him. So this would create a, how would I say this, fake window of bonding, where he would talk to me about certain things that he liked, and I would act like I was listening, and that would create a fake window of fake bonding, because the kid wants to be close to the parent in some way. So when the parent's being nice, when the parent's showing affection to the kid, when they're associating the things they like, it's like, oh, I like fishing, and while I'm fishing, I'll be nice to my kid. So my kid will associate niceness with fishing. So every time we fish, they'll think about niceness. It's training a person like a dog. That's all it is. That's all it is. And to some degree, it helps a person become a better person, but to other degrees, it's not, because it's just manipulation. It's fucked. My mother does the same thing my grandma does. That's why I don't have a hard time believing that my grandma is either Freemason or Illuminati member. And my dad, definitely. My dad collects skulls. He collects ritual masks. He collects bones of animals. That's shit the Illuminati does. I mean, they do worse. They kill animals and drink the blood. But he does a lot of Illuminati-like things. I'm not saying he is. I'm not. But he does a lot, and I mean everything he does almost, is an Illuminati-related thing. My mother does disassociation, but she does it in a different way. When I was younger, she would do it in this kind of way. She wanted to make me dependent only on her. So what she would do was, if I tried to be independent and find things out on my own and think for myself, she would get mad. But if I let her help me, or I let her do things for me like a servant, she would love it. She would absolutely, and she's still the same way today, she would absolutely love it. But then if I said, can I do my homework on my own, Mommy? She would say, fuck, you can skip that. Like, she would just go crazy. But if she was like the servant, buying things for you, doing things for you, then that's fine. But disassociation can be in way different ways. You can do it in all different types of ways. I could neglect I would never neglect I could neglect my kid for like 42 hours, 2 days, 48 hours, and just not look at him, not talk to him. They would say, Daddy, can you feed me? I would just not look at him. Wouldn't talk to him, give him any attention. They would be alone, confused. It would be, what's happening? And then I would smoke a cigarette and then give the kid some cereal. Then the kid would associate every time I smoke a cigarette, he gets food. There's another way of doing it. Drugs. Drugs are disassociation. Right there. Coffee. Cocaine. I want to put the two together. Coffee, cocaine, alcohol, cigarettes. Yes, those two things are drugs. Alcohol and cigarettes are drugs. Anything that alters your mind is a drug. The Illuminati actually gives drugs to kids to disassociate their brains so their minds are jumbled. Because if you had a logical mind, you wouldn't be able to accept, you question things. And they don't like that. They don't like questioning things. My dad didn't like when I questioned all the things he did. Why are you doing that? Why are you watching that movie? Why? That's another reason I thought he might be an Illuminati member. Because he shows those signs of Illuminati trainer. There are so many ways to disassociate a person. So many. And let's say this. It's kind of hard for me to say. I don't know why. It just seems like a touchy subject for a lot of people. The Illuminati will rape people, young children, to confuse them mentally, scar them so they are extremely confused, and they can change them. They will be scarred for life. That's why I don't want my kids to ever be born into the Illuminati. That's why I never want to be a servant for the Illuminati. I never want to work for them. I want to be maybe a part of them, but I don't want to work for them, if that makes any sense, because there are ways of being in the Illuminati. You can be like Donald Trump. You can be pretending to fight against the other person in politics, when both those people are royal bloodline and they're related. Hillary and Donald Trump, they're related, yeah. Same bloodline. And they can pretend that they're arguing when really the Rothschilds are just going to control one of them. So, yeah, both of those people work for the Illuminati. It's all about money. And I would only do it for money. But if I would have to do anything to my kids, I would leave. If they threaten to kill me, who fucking cares? I've wanted to die since I was 4 years old. And that's not an exaggeration. It's not. In junior high, I came home every day wanting to stab myself. But you know what? I have this strange voice in my head that tells me to not do it and keep going, because there are always better things coming in the future. Always, this voice that just always says that. Always have felt that way. So if I die, which I've died 5 times, and let me tell you, it's the most peaceful thing on the planet. It is so peaceful to die, but staying dead is the hard part, because I always go back into my body. It's an out-of-body experience from usually a seizure or getting knocked out from a seizure. Leaving your body is an amazing, amazing experience, and I suggest anyone try it. Yeah, death doesn't scare me. Being wounded scares me, and not being able to control my body. If I was wounded and stuck, I would... No. Because my mom has this stupid-ass fixation in her head that, like, well, people in coma still want to live. You gotta give them a chance. No. If I was in a coma, unplug me. Kill me. I don't want to be alive. I could make all the money in the world. I could have kids. I could make 15 houses. If I'm gonna die, kill me. I don't want to live. It's used to be sad, but then I just came to terms with it. I'm like, okay, fuck. I mean, I can live without this world. This world isn't that great. Except for brownies. And watch. I get to heaven or hell or whatever. I'm like, I'm free of seizures. And then I just have a seizure like right away. That would suck. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Disassociation. You can do it to your parents right now. If you want, do it to your parents right now. When they talk to you, ignore them. Depending on how they are. If they get mad, just walk away. Just don't talk to them. If that's easy for you, just ignore them. Teenagers actually do this. When they get to their high school years, they don't want to be around their parents as much, yet they want to live with them. So they'll ignore their parents, and then their parents will want to spend time with them, so the parents start buying them shit. So then they'll associate in their brains, neglect works on the parents to get them things. It's all about association. You gotta associate the right things to the right people to get what you want. I've learned this over the years of my grandma, my dad, and my mom, all disassociating me throughout my whole life. Yeah. I'm pretty much a robot. That's a good way to put it. It's probably why I'm crazy. But I'm still me. I've managed to stay who I am through all the bullshit and programming I've gone through in my lifetime. And that's saying a lot. Yes. I've even come to terms with the people and admitted that they're doing it to their face. And not a lot of people can do that. I've told them to their face that they did it. So, try to do that to your parents. Bye.